Morning, everybody. Today, I'm gonna this will be the most powerfulest video that I've ever made alongside these channels. This will not just be on this channel, I will make sure it's on the guide channel as well. This will be the most powerfulest video that I have ever made. Now, what I'm gonna do is the techniques that I've learned in order to combat this technology, to render it useless, to basically deprogram its technology. I dropped some hints. I dropped a few bits of information down in some few videos, but I wanted to make a video to where I put all of it in one video. Now, you've already heard me discuss on how, like, in order for you to start deprogramming yourself from the system, you need to stop reacting to every little thing that they do, all the sounds that they make, all the things that they say, the conversations that they have. Don't pay attention to it. Don't give a fuck about it. Don't. The other thing you need to do alongside this is to start raising your spiritual vibrations. As well as while you're doing this, you need to also raise your positivity as well. Once you have both of these things being raised at the same time, you not only do you have your spiritual vibration being raised, but you also have your positivity being raised. Doing this overwhelms whatever negativity that is within your chakras, and it allows you to basically get that much closer to enlightenment. You know, I'm gonna leave a video in the description. It's gonna be a link in the description for you to basically find out the 5 things you have to let go of in order for you to instantly raise your vibrations. Now, the guy goes into great detail of the explanations on all of this stuff too. I am very grateful for the video that he made. As well as that's not just going to be it either. I also will have a playlist for you. There's going to be a new playlist on this channel. The playlist is going to be called Taliban themes. In that playlist will be the most powerfulest themes that you will find on YouTube. This will help you break free from the control of the technology. I shouldn't have to tell anybody that you may want to freaking try your hardest to download that stuff while you can, while it's still there. Okay? But honestly, the real best thing you could ever do, I mean, if you got the cash, is to buy yourself one of those Taliban crystal bowls. It's very vulnerable, I know. But I might leave an attached video that I want you all to listen to, right? I'm gonna have that, and I want you to just listen to that, because I've used that as another test as well when this lady was doing the Taliban therapy, to where, like, she was just releasing all of that negative energy, also using the tuning forks. This stuff is very powerful with literally effing with their technology and just rendering it useless. So the first thing you need to be, again, write this down. The first thing you need to be aware of is to stop paying attention to what these gang stalkers are doing. Stop giving them all that attention. Stop reacting to every little thing that they do. Stop. Don't react to the colors they wear. Don't react to what they're saying. Don't react to what they're doing. Just go on about your day like it's nothing happening. Now, how do you also get a reconnaissance as well as while this is happening? Quite simple. You're going to want to have 2 different cameras if you possibly can. You need one in the front, and you want to have a hidden one on your back. Have like a backpack or something, and always keep an audio recorder. This is how you're going to be able to get your evidence and all your reconnaissance data down. Get yourself a body cam of some sort. Don't use a phone to do this. And you may be wondering why. Well, first off, a phone can be used to track you. Not to mention, a phone can also be hacked. They can just hack that, and then they can just delete the evidence that you got. Come on, it would render the whole attempt useless if you use a phone to do this. So you want some type of device that you can use to record. Either that or get some recordable glasses, something like that, to where it's not to where they can hack it, and you can just have it like on a micro USB thing or stick or whatever, or a chip or whatever. It doesn't matter. Um, have something like that, and then this will allow you to get all the evidence happening as far as all their psyop stuff. They won't be able to it won't be able to discredit you when you have all of this evidence built up. You'll just have phenomenal amounts of evidence, and don't put the original footage copy, like the actual footage, the actual hard copy, excuse me, of the footage on the device. Copy that video, and then put that copy on the device. Keep the original on the USB stick, and then you're good to go, or micro SD. The reason why I'm telling you to do it this way is so you can still preserve your evidence. When you have it in micro SD cards, it allows you to preserve a physical copy of that data, of the evidence. Now you're gonna want to get yourself a proper holder, something that you won't be able to lose, like something that like attached to your keys. Get a proper keychain, a strong damn keychain that you won't just easily lose, that you won't just easily forget. Something that can clip on, something that you would take with yourself every day. Me myself, I always take my vest with me, so I always keep my keys just clipped to that, to a one of those bungee strings. So because of me doing that, it's just that easy for me to be able to keep up with it, As well as now that we established that, again, the things that you got to understand is that basically you got to I'm just going to basically just tell you some of the things, just to give you an example as to how you can instantly raise your vibrations along with this. That will help. You're going to want X Player, the X Player app. You can just go ahead and type in that in the the Play Store. You'll see it. It'll be green and black and white, maybe green, black and white, or just green and black, and it'll be a play button in the middle of it, like a single button with a play button in it. And you want to get that because what that can do is it can play the themes that you've downloaded in the background, and then what you can do while that's playing is go onto YouTube and also play the themes on YouTube at the same time. Doing this is what's going to allow you to be able to de-patternize their technology. It's going to allow you to raise your vibration while raising your positivity. Doing this gives you complete dominance to basically reject all of what they are attempting to do, from what they're saying, from what their noise campaigns, and all of this. This is what that does. Now, when you start to feel them basically trying to hit you with the directed energy weapons, don't even try to pick up the phone. Get yourself a Gauss meter. Get yourself a Gauss meter. And what I mean by a Gauss meter is you can check this out on AliExpress or Amazon, but I will warn you, Amazon is part of the problem. They are funding the organization that is tormenting many different TIs. I've used it all this time without even knowing that they were doing that, and I had someone mention that that's what they were doing. So I don't know the statistics of that. If anybody does know, please leave a link in the description. Not the description, but the comment section that would actually explain that. But yeah, just that much as far as that's concerned. Now, what this also does, like this really, 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 really this is what's going to let you, this literally allows you to understand just how weak this technology actually is when it comes to its programming. Now, the directed energy attacks, that's a completely different story. And that's why I basically mentioned Copper Fabric, the app called Innate State, which I'm showing you right now. You can use that. Now, when you do this, you don't have to use headphones. You could, but I recommend it's not necessary. It's not necessary. You could just have both the themes playing, and then you could just go about your day regularly while that's playing, and then you're good to go. Now, again, at the end of this video, this current one that you're watching now with the innate steps shown, I'm gonna have the Tybin therapeutic video I want you to just listen to that video. And then when you get to the part to where the crystal bowls, keep repeating that part and tell me, and you won't be able to tell me that you don't feel like a huge amount of negative energy just literally just leaving your body. You won't be able to tell me that you don't feel that. Because I'm telling you, that stuff is a lot powerful. Them Shaolin monks, I mean, some of the stuff that they have learned over the years, I mean, it's extremely painful. And I mean, some of the stuff I really wouldn't do because, it could lead to like, fertility issues. Like you won't be able to have children after a while, half the training that they do. But some of this training that these monks do, that these, not just the Shaolin, but also these Chinese masters that they'll be doing, not just them, but also the Buddhists that be doing too. It really genuinely has some seriously good effects. You wouldn't have known it until you actually experienced it for yourself. And when you start to experience a lot of this stuff, even some of the therapeutic stuff that the Indians did, man, that stuff also has some seriously good effects. And now the more and more I'm finding out, the more and more I'm starting to understand why we were basically pushed away from naturally stuff and pushed to more like chemical based things, more synthetic based things, more electronic based things instead of just natural things, natural things that you would just find growing in your own backyard, natural things you would find growing out in the wilderness. How they give you sunglasses when you're supposed to be soaking in that sun energy. When they give you rubber shoes with rubber or shoes with rubber soles or synthetic soles, when you're supposed to be soaking in the energy from the planet. That's is technically healthy for you. So much stuff that is happening, they come up with an excuse that basically justified saying, "Oh, we'll give you a jacket for the rain." Unfortunately, they put nanotech fibers in the damn jacket. I mean, it'd be fine if they didn't do that, but it's just as I said, like it's a pattern, man. They create the problem and then they create the solution. That's exactly what the government is doing, man. They create a problem and create a solution. That's one of the reasons why I said I'm not fighting no damn civil war, because people for years kept warning everybody about this shit, only for people to just accept money and turn a blind eye to it and pretend it's not happening. I'm just going to go ahead and just try to keep my job out of fear of being, losing it, without realizing that you basically are aiding into a higher corruptive cause that's going to render that fucking job useless in the near future. So, out of all these people who have lost their lives, man, out of all these people who have been institutionalized, illegally jailed over these fascist things that has happened to them, I don't see myself fighting for a country that has shunned the people who tried bringing the truth out. I just don't see it. The only thing I see myself fighting for, the one thing I see myself fighting for is the people who have been victimized as the result of the government and its BS. That's what I see myself doing. Fighting for them. Because I'm not saying that the country itself is bad. The system itself is not bad in a way. What I'm saying is it's not so much as it's not really so much as the things that are there. It's just what the people who are in charge of it, of what they're doing with it, I'm not even saying that the community-based policing is a bad thing either. But when you have, certain people in charge who are using this for nefarious purposes, for for legal purposes as well, for their own personal gain, then we have a problem. And that's a common trait that's been happening throughout the government, throughout the military, throughout the police force. And that's just it. Like, we have good people in the military. We have good people in the police force. We have good people in government. Problem is, we have corruptive individuals who are in there in higher positions who are just pushing the narrative for their own fucked up agenda. It's the same bullshit of what Antifa is doing when they infiltrate these peaceful protest groups, it's the same thing. It has always been the same thing. And it doesn't matter who or what race you are. This is coming from people from many different races doing this. And that's just the bottom line. So to the people who are ever wondering if I would ever throw myself into a civil war, no. It's for a society that shunned the very people who kept trying to warn it, the people within it, who are basically are just turning a blind eye to an organization that's been torturing people, torturing kids, trafficking kids, and shit like that. If I'm fighting for anybody, really, it's for the people who are still fighting against this destructive government, and not just the government, but the people responsible for this as well. People responsible for aiding it, people responsible for letting it happen, and people responsible for directly involved. Those are the people I'm fighting alongside with. TIs, truth seekers, whistleblowers. I stand on the lines of combat with them. I'm not going out of my way to do any harm to anybody. I'm not going out of my way to basically spout violence in any way, shape, or form. And I've already stated my piece. And I normally I wasn't going to mention this, but I guess I should mention this now. I've said it before and I said it again. Look, I don't doubt that we have infiltration amongst targeted individuals, but I find it very difficult to believe that a person with a profile who doesn't show their face at all has the right to take a stand to basically question another targeted individual who does show their face. I mean, that's just me personally. Now, I don't doubt that we have infiltration. Maybe some of them do show their face. I'm not saying that that's not a possibility. What I am saying is that why would a perp show their face posing as a target individual, right? Why would they show their face posing as a target individual, knowing damn well that if they're psyop bullshit, obviously they know for a fact. Here's my opinion, man. A perp wouldn't do that because they know they're going to be identified by a whole nother TI. They know this because as soon as another target individual identifies them and shows proof of them actually doing it, what's going to happen when we see proof of that individual doing the psyop bullshit? I mean, it's going to be obvious, right? And here's the thing. I don't support any divide and conquer thing here. I don't support that shit at all. If there is a perp amongst TIs, that person will be figured out sooner or later. That person will his or her actions will eventually catch up to them, and it will become very obvious. And when that day comes, we're just gonna know about it. Remember, the whole thing that they do is bent towards sabotage, divide and conquer, and much, much more. I'm not saying any names of who's responsible. I'm not saying any names of who did what, who did this. So don't even make no assumptions, because remember, when you make assumptions, you make an ass out of both yourself. You're making an ass out of both yourself, both you and me. So don't do that, okay? Anyway, I guess that's pretty much it for this video. Now, again, there's going to be a second video attached even after I end this one, like I usually do. It'll just be the therapeutic session of the Tired Ben Bowls. I claim no copyright to any of that content. Please show your support to their channel if you will. Also, please show support to the other channel that will be linked in the description. I would play that, but that one's like 16 minutes long. And yeah. I guess I could like have it on there, but I don't know. I'd rather just leave a link because there's probably like a whole lot more content there. If the link doesn't work, just let me know, and then I'll just showcase it and leave another link. But other than that, I guess that's about it for what I got to say. So just go ahead and enjoy the therapeutic session that you're about to see.
Spinal treatment, Wato Jaji points, from cervical through the sacral spine on the back. Apply 2 activated mid-ohm tuning forks bilaterally from the cervical through the sacral spine. These points are next to the spine, between the transverse process of each vertebrae and in the sacral foramen. Shoulder well, GB21, top of shoulder. On the top of the shoulder, about 1/3 the distance from the side of the neck and the end of the shoulder. Apply mid-ohm tuning forks bilaterally on each shoulder. Then double the mid-ohms on one point and then the other. This treatment relaxes and opens the shoulder and the neck area. The shoulders drop and the breathing becomes deeper. Mandible wheel, ST6, masseter muscle in the jaw. About 1 inch diagonal from the corner of the jaw toward the mouth. The point is against the masseter muscle. Fresh, innocent eyes, GB1. Approximately 1/2 inch from the outer corner of the eye in the depression on the lateral side of the eye orbit. Apply mid-ohm tuning forks. Use ohm singing bowls on or around the body after using the tuning forks. Place an ohm crystal bowl under the treatment table. The sound gently vibrates the table and adds another beautiful resonance of ohm. High ohm octave tuning forks. These tuning forks add a light vibration to complete the treatment. They clear negative resonance released from the body, and they help clear the treatment space.